Good afternoon, everyone. Launces Mechanist here with another stream. This one's actually a different game. This is actually one that I have played for a bit since it came out, and I'm gonna be doing a stream on it. This is Eiyuden Chronicle Rising. Now, for those of you who are unfamiliar with it, uh, there was a game series back in the 90s, early 2000s, made by Konami called Suikoden. The premise of it was that you, the main character, explored the world, gathering 108 characters known as the Stars of Destiny, using magical runes that could be imbued in the hands or the head or the body to fight monsters, defeat them, and prevent evil from overtaking the world. Sometimes this evil presented itself as monsters, other times as the evils of people in general, and sometimes even as the runes themselves. Well, sadly, the Suikoden series was discontinued after the Nintendo DS release of Suikoden Tearcrease, which is actually a different. Actually, the Suikoden series, as I know it, and as many people know it, ended after the events of Suikoden 5. Suikoden Tearcrease, or oh Lord, I hope I'm saying that right. It was a hopeful restart of the series, but it never really gained the traction that it needed. Fast forward a couple of years to the late 2010s, and the team behind the Suikoden game started a Kickstarter for a game that has been called the spiritual successor of the Suikoden franchise, and this here is the result. The Kickstarter raised the money needed, and Eiyuden Chronicle was born. This is actually Eiyuden Chronicle Rising, which is the prologue of the upcoming game Eiyuden Chronicles 100 Heroes. We will be stepping into the boots of the protagonist CJ, a treasure hunter, a scavenger, Garu, a mercenary, and Isha, a mage with impressive magical abilities. So, without further ado, let's get started, shall we? Now, I have played the game. I actually have beaten it once on a playthrough, but for the sake of everyone, we're going to be starting a new game, blank slate, and because I am not sure the status of the soundtrack will be sadly muted. It is a beautiful soundtrack. If you get the chance to listen to it, I implore you to do so, because this game is absolutely gorgeous, and the music definitely sets the tone for it. Excuse me. Been having trouble with my sinuses all day. Ugh. It's caused a monster of a headache, but finally getting over it. Here we are, CJ, a young girl descended from generations of scavengers. She has come to New Neva to complete her family's rite of passage. Normally I would read the normally I'd read the dialogue, but I cannot do a well, I don't think my voice would fit CJ. Alright. Hmm. 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 Alright. Approach and attack incoming enemies. This is a basic horizontal action hack and slash. Attack is the square button, jump is the X button or cross button. Unique skill is the R2 button. CJ can traverse short distances at high speed. Quick step forward while in motion and backwards while stationary. Time your movement right, and you can use this skill to evade enemy attacks. Yep. I'm a bit rusty. Retreat! Not bad at all. Better than not expected from a youngin'. Well, hell, I'm getting tired of just hearing the wind, so I might as well just put some dialogue to it. Hogan's the name. You really saved my skin. I owe you. I owe you one. Never thought you'd see a lizardman dressed as a cowboy, huh? Hogan isn't exactly a playable character. He's the basically CJ and the players get and the party get assigned quests. Complete these quests, you gain a stamp. When you have enough stamps, talk to Hogan, and you can trade for certain items. And if you get enough stamps, something impressive happens. Honorable scavenger. How's that work? Scavenging is just treasure hunting, isn't it? Only difference between that and thieving is whether your mark is living or dead. Eh. Excuse me a moment. Hmm. Yeah, they're just here to guard the checkpoint. More reliable than you layabouts, that's for sure. Hmm. 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 You won't believe what happened, Squash. Hmm. My word. Well, at least you are unscathed. Thanks to this young lady, no less. Madam CJ, was it? Squash, authorized appraiser. A pleasure to meet you. You know, it's kind of fitting they actually put a bird man as an appraiser because, you know, they say birds are attracted to shiny objects and everything. Indeed, it is my duty to appraise the artifacts excavated from the barrows. Why, to determine their value, of course. All artifacts found in the barrows are subject to an explorer tax of 30%. You haven't heard the worst of it yet. If you want into the rune barrows, you're going to need an explorer's license from the acting mayor. And that license don't come cheap. Ain't that right, Squash? I'm afraid so. Yep, rapacious is the word. Quite. Oh, I wouldn't recommend that. You get caught trying to hightail it out of here with a bag full of loot, well, you won't get very far. Mayor's hired an unsavory from the East Reach to put a stop to any thieving that might occur. So I've heard, at least. I've seen many a crook dealt with in my day, but that mercenary is unnerving. I'm quite sure his presence is the only thing keeping those bandits from darkening our door. What y'all think? Keep up with the voice acting or no? Well, how's about we go see the mayor for ourselves, huh? Even a rapacious old soul can be reasoned with after all. Right this way. Town's just ahead. Well then, perhaps the next time we meet, you'll have a handful of treasure for me to appraise. You'll have handfuls of treasure for me to appraise. Until then, farewell. Hmm. Here it is. A flourishing new frontier in the grip of a gold rush. Welcome to New Neva. Well, I did say it was flourishing, did I? Didn't I? Work in progress, huh? Earthquake! Ugh, I can't stand earthquakes. Right. Anyway, earthquakes are pretty common here. Best be on your toes. Of course, it's thanks to an earthquake that we even found them barrows. Real big one about 3 months ago. Well, I best be getting back. Got a store to run after all, or I will eventually. Hmm. Figured I'd make a buck or two by setting up a trading post for adventurers and to trade their wares. Mosey on by once I've opened up. Town office in the plaza, I suppose. Where else? Fingers crossed, Missy. Fingers crossed. Bye-bye. Hmm. Hmm. Ah. Oh dear. Hmm. And there is Isha. She becomes a playable character after a certain point in the game. For now, though, she is just the acting mayor. Hmm. Hmm. An explorer's license costs 100,000 bakwa, not a penny less. Hmm. And this is where the fun part comes in. Instead of shelling out 100,000 to get an explorer license, you are given a stamp card. Collect stamps, and you'll be issued an explorer's license. But the stamps are also the reward for completing side quests, and as I stated before, collect enough stamps, you can trade for some rare and otherwise difficult to obtain goods from Hogan, and continue collecting stamps, and you will see something impressive happen with New Neva itself. Hmm. 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 most likely. So our first quest is finding a lost cat. Simple enough. And that's the key word for CJ is treasured. CJ is, after all, a treasure hunter, so finding treasure is her specialty. And if someone is treasured, it's a treasure, she'll find it. Sorry. Sinuses are still giving me a bit of a fit. Getting a sip of my drink. But yeah, opinions in the village of the adventurers are mixed, to say the least. Some recognize the good that they're doing, others are neutral, and some just don't. Some just downright hate that their quiet little village turned into such a bustling area. No respect for tradition. Isha might be a bit daft at times, but she's right about this. Hmm. Hmm. Alright, so now we take our first step into the first dungeon of the game. That is the Great Forest. Hmm. Signposts in the game act as, well, they act as save beacons. You can save your game at these signposts, and if you run into trouble, you'll be teleported back to the closest signpost. They also act as fast travel points that you can use to travel around New Neva and the surrounding areas. Alright, here we go. Into the woods. A sleeping enemy. A cat. Wow. One stamp down, plenty more to go. Hmm. Experience is gained by completing quests and defeating enemies inside dungeons. As your party accumulates experience, their level and stats will increase. When I get the chance, I'm going to have to remember to check the Eiyuden Chronicle Facebook and ask and see if the soundtrack actually is copyrighted. Hooray, an axe. Okay, so this is the main menu, or the pause menu, main menu. In it, you can see your quests in progress, main quests, shop quests, resident quests, and completed quests. You can see your stats and equipment here. Let's see. Your stow pack is basically the items you have to take with you on quests. I believe you can have a maximum of 15 items in the take a maximum of 15 items with you. But at the moment we can only do 5. To gain more items, or the ability to carry more items into dungeons, we need to upgrade the stow pack. Resource bag is what's used when we are in dungeons and when you kill enemies or harvest materials. These materials go into the resource bag. Again, you have to upgrade the resource bag in order to carry more, in order to take more resources or more loot. The starting resource bag holds 50 items, I believe, if I'm correct. And this can be updated. This can be upgraded once the appropriate shop has been repaired and opened. Then, of course, you've got the storehouse, which is where you keep your resources you bring home in the resource bag, also any excess items you can't carry with you. Then, of course, you've got the achievements, the help, and the options to return to the main menu or fiddle with the settings a little bit. So, let's go ahead and just use the fast travel. Let's get to the Great Forest. Let's save. Once enemies have been slain and resources gathered, they will not be available again until you leave the dungeon. If you can't find the resources you need, head back to your base and try again after a good rest. So basically, exiting the dungeon acts as a reset. Once you harvest what you need and leave the dungeon, everything that you've harvested will be reset. You can farm resources this way. And as I was saying, the resource bag. A barricade. Alright, looks like we've gained enough lumber. Out we go. So there is no inn, no tavern, and what shops there are rudimentary at best. So to stay anywhere, you need to just pitch a tent and stay in one area. Yeah. And thus, there you have your base. Alright. And now this will be our base while we are on our adventure. Well, I'm thinking. Let's see, how long have we been at it? Yeah, the lack of a soundtrack kind of makes the whole thing seem rather mundane, doesn't it? Alright, so we gotta go all the way into the back of the Great Forest to gain a great tree branch that is in that, to rebuild the clock tower, or at least work at it. And as you upgrade items, as you upgrade your tools, you'll be able to harvest more from your harvest points. Like upgrade the axe, you'll be able to harvest light wood lumber, heavy wood lumber, and all that. Oh, come on. There we go. And these random battle encounters can happen anywhere. Not getting that way. And here we have the second playable character, Garu. He is a kangaroo. He's a kangaroo beast man. Got 2 potions in the stow pack. We got a signpost here. Here we go. You're thinking that tree looks odd, doesn't it? Aren't you? Well, I think you're right. Boss fight. All bark, no bite. Got the tree branch, and now we're out of here. Here's our list of resources we got. And I'll probably be calling it a night after we do this, after we finish this quest. Cut the stream off there, and that'll be it for now. I'm gonna see if I can't get on the Facebook and ask if it would be possible to use the soundtrack when streaming.